like, I feel like no one has any warning, but for anyone who gets to show up, hey, I'm glad you're here. I'm just gonna wait for a few minutes to see if anyone starts showing up. I see a few people are here already, so hi, thank you. I didn't like sleep a lot last night. I took a little bit of a cat nap type deal, so hopefully I'll be able to do something today. But honestly, one of the reasons I'm going live right now, besides the fact, I do have some stuff going on, and I was just like, if anybody wanted to ask questions or whatever, I thought I'd go live. But also just because I have been really struggling with maintaining like any kind of consistency when it comes to getting in the pool and like stretching and stuff. And it's kind of crazy that it's September and I can still get in the pool. If that doesn't tell you what's going on with global warming, I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. But yeah, anyway, our pool vacuum has been out of commission for a bit. So if you see like some stuff floating, I do apologize. Our pool it's thankfully not like dirty, but the pool kind of helps with like the little random specks of dirt that are floating around and stuff. So I'm annoyed about it, but I think that'll be fully back within a week. What's his name? Yeah, it should be back within a week. So yeah. Oh, I fucked up. I did not bring my iPad or my headphones. That's how long it's been since I've done anything like this. Hey, Nerdy. By the way, I saw you commented. I think you probably saw my reply. I saw you commented on the podcast. So thank you for supporting. Yeah, the experience of going on there was really cool. It's been really interesting seeing the responses that I've been getting since I did the interview. Because I guess what I want people to realize is like the reason I'm going on these like larger platforms and wanting to talk about these things. Hi guys, I see some people in the chat now. And the reason why I'm talking about these things is like, and it really like was very clear to me on the TikTok that it started gaining traction. In the comments, it's like I'm actually really thankful. I'm getting a decent amount of support. I was honestly kind of expecting to get like clowned really hard on. And yeah, like people are clowning on me, obviously. People are making their fat phobic comments, their fat jokes, it is what it is. And people saying things like, how I just need to like put the food down. But the thing I didn't expect, and I guess I should have, is a lot of people saying that like I'm blaming the feeders on my weight gain, which is just factually incorrect. Like, I don't even know what else to say to that. Like, that is just factually wrong. Like, the event that I shared in that podcast, like the moment, like the really intense part, I'm not going to say it here, the traumatic part, happened when I was already like well over 500 pounds. So like I was fatter than I am now. And I had already done all that on my own, like through my own trauma, my own binge eating. Like it was never for kink reason. It was never for anything related to the topic of feederism. It was brought to me because of the way that I looked. See what I'm saying? Right, Weezy. Well, thank you. I hope your day is great too. And hi, Brandy. But yeah, crazy stuff. And so a lot of people are obviously making a bunch of assumptions just based off of the like 1 second or the 1 minute audio clip, right? But it's been really interesting because the other thing I've been reading a lot of in the comments are people talking about their experiences with like boyfriends who weren't honest up front and were doing like insidious things to try to like make them gain weight and stuff, and like that's heartbreaking. And that's why I want to talk about this stuff, like that's why I want to talk about my experiences. That's why I want to go on platforms to explain, because I see myself as someone who, sorry, I'm just honestly just trying to stretch right now. As someone who was vulnerable and, I was a grown-ass adult when I made a lot of decisions that I made. And I guess I want to like just kind of review how I've been talking about these things, because I'm trying to figure out if it's just people making assumptions or if it's the way I am conducting and talking about these things that makes people assume that I see myself as like a victim of and like completely in infallible in these things, because I don't see myself that way. Hey Jess, and hi Aisha. You just watched it? Thank you. I had a great time. Devorah is so nice, by the way. Nicest girl. And she really does give people the opportunity to share their story, like, on her platform without the, need to, like, you know, kind of ask a bunch of questions or whatever. And so I feel like that's one of the reasons why I was kind of rambly, was like, she did kind of redirect me a couple times, which I really needed and appreciated. Hey. So I'm so annoyed with myself that I didn't bring my headphones. So like there's just absolutely no fucking way I'm gonna be able to get like ramped up, like high energy style workout. But frankly, I only slept a couple hours, so I don't know if that was really necessarily what I was gonna do. But truthfully, I decided to go live just to give myself a reason to do something a little more physical. But yeah, I just made like a TikTok explaining things, and because of that TikTok, I might actually hit 1,000 followers over there, because if that happens, I'll be doing probably more of these like more low effort workout style of lives there. But I'd have to hit that follower amount first. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's been interesting for sure. Watching like mainstream people reacting to this, and then of course like people that have known me for a while in those communities, making commentary about why I chose to leave, which is a whole fucking saga, right? But at the end of the day, I'm an adult who, it's the same, oh, by the way, just to answer your question, Aisha, it's the same username as here, Quirky Love Rose. I'm Quirky Love Rose on all platforms. Thank you for asking. What was I saying? Shit. See, this is why, this is why I need guidance. I literally forgot what I was talking about, like completely. Shit. Me too. In fact, like I want to possibly swim some laps. In fact, I'm going to do some more like in water, like squat style stuff. Like stretches. Oh, here we go. Ooh, that feels nice. I'm really stiff because the truth is, y'all, like, I was doing really good for a while in terms of like getting in the pool every day, working out. Like, I was doing workouts that were like getting my heartbeat up and shit. And then I was doing medication trials, and the side effects were really severe, and that really caused me to start like being in bed a lot more. And then I went to the hospital, and like there was so many heat advisories while I was in the hospital. They didn't have very many patio days, like to go outside and walk around or whatever. And the days that they did, it was still too damn hot. Oh my God, finding the right meds has been a fucking nightmare, but I think we're there. And so I went ahead and I'm trying to get the paperwork figured out with my HR and stuff for my job. So we're gonna see. I'm probably returning to work next month. That's gonna be interesting. Because yeah, I do a full-time job. I work in healthcare. I have an administrative job. And so I'm hopeful that that'll be able to work out well and everything. And then once I get back into the swing of things there and get like a life schedule, I'll be able to kind of see what'll happen in terms of like social media stuff and everything. So yeah. So I don't know if I've talked about this enough, but like before I got into that like public altercation and all those issues, I was like already like slowing down production on my content because I was realizing that it was making me really unhappy, and I was realizing that I didn't like it. And I think, you know, I didn't know I was a diabetic yet. But like I was struggling to eat and stuff because I was getting sick before I got on my metformin. Thank you, Jess. And like I was really struggling, and then this altercation happened, and I just realized I was like, all of this is toxic. Like the toxicity of those friendships finally made me kind of open my eyes to the toxicity within those communities. And then like in a way that I can kind of compare to when I left Mormonism, I kind of just like started deconstructing like all these beliefs I had built over the years as someone who used to make that kind of content and stuff. And you know, I haven't thought about this stuff in a while. Obviously, this interview and all the questions and comments and everything flooding in has made me like reflect on these things more and stuff. And it's just made me kind of have to like reflect and like these are the things that I have to own. Like I'm the one that ate the way that I did. I'm the one that chose to exploit myself. I'm the one that made that content. I'm the one that you know, took those things to a next level. I think I've always been that kind of person, you know. I've always been somebody who has struggled with not being excessive. Or struggled with being excessive? Yeah. I don't know. I hope that made sense. Which, shocker of the fucking century, am I right? And it's just like, I just think that I learned these life lessons the hard way. And if me talking about this stuff helps younger plus size women not fall into the patterns that I did and not make the mistakes that I did, and help them from, you know, not falling into codependent, toxic relationships that involve themes of like making people gain weight and things like that, like it would all be fucking worth it. Because what's blown my mind the most, as someone who's been a part of this world for so long, who's known about these things for so many years, is just how many people don't even know about the concept of feudalism, let alone the extremities within that world. Thank you, Aisha. Appreciate it. So yeah, anyway, I just that's been something I've been really thinking about a lot. And like that's why, like, if I get the opportunity to go on other platforms, like I really want to, I'm willing to take the brunt of like the hate. Like nothing that can be said to me can fucking faze me. Like I have had so much shit. In fact, I'm gonna address this here because there was a comment that was made, and I was debating on if I was gonna talk about this or not. There was a comment that was made by someone on the video of the podcast interview about being someone who used to be on 4chan back in the day, back when I was being talked about. And they dropped something that is something I've heavily avoided ever mentioning, ever talking about, because it's one of the most like embarrassing moments of my life. It's one of the most damaging, upsetting parts of like my journey, and I tend to skate over it when I talk about, and I did like in this interview too, because like again, I don't want to, it ties in with like religious shame and the religious trauma and stuff. But you know, I talked about how I lost my virginity in a few different places, how I met some random guy online, and I had a nervous breakdown because I was struggling with depression and stuff. And I had convinced myself that I had developed herpes. I don't have herpes. And I went on some like anonymous forum at the age of like 18, and I used my childhood username, and I wrote out this long post. And then I ended up going to the doctor's office in my small town that I grew up in after this. And I had a full mental breakdown in the doctor's office. Like, when I say full mental breakdown, I mean full mental breakdown. And fun fact, it happened in front of someone I went to high school with. And I shared way too much with her and everything. I don't know how to answer that question, West Coast. For me, I lost it once, but I lost my when I lost my virginity, whatever, and like the amount of shame I had surrounding that, the lack of knowledge I had around sex, things like that. When I went to the doctor and I got checked out for it, they were like, "You don't have herpes." Like, basically what had happened was I was really depressed and I was experiencing like symptoms from not taking care of myself properly. And so that's what it was. And so to me, that's like an extremely embarrassing story. And that was one of the many things that when these people were scrounging around on the internet for me, they were searching. I had a childhood username that I used like before the age of 18, and I used it a little bit before like my early Reddit days in 2012 and stuff. And so they found that, and they found all this other stuff. And so that got twisted into this narrative that I was diagnosed with herpes. That never happened. That never happened. And so like they were saying that in the comments of this video, and it's like literally fucking what? Like 10 years later, people are still talking about that online. Like, that's how damaging this kind of shit that I've experienced is. Like, I never had herpes. I was an uneducated, scared, guilty ex-Mormon leaving my church, acting out. I mean, I was technically an adult from like, what, 4 months, you know? But I was freshly 18, and it's like, I feel so much embarrassment even just sharing that story right now. But like that was part of all that Reddit shit, you know what I'm saying? And like how they, or not the Reddit shit, the 4chan and like the forums and stuff, when they brought all that up. And I never wanted to talk about that or admit that, because I've had such a lifelong struggle with my mental health. And that was before I worked a lot on like a lot of those depression symptoms, because as a child, I struggled to shower, which is a chronic like symptom of unchecked depression. And that's something I've worked a lot on in my adulthood, and it's not nearly like as much of a problem as it was in high school. Like, I got bullied a lot for that, because I dealt with so much like self-hatred and so much self-loathing, you know? And so, you know, I'm not gonna run from my past anymore. Like, that was shit that was said about me on those forums. Like, there was a lot of other things too. A lot of it I've blocked out. Like, a lot of like really horrific things were said. People were trying to dox me, all that stuff. Like, that, when I talk about those stories, like, those are things that I lived through. And like when I was in my my mid-20s, when all that stuff was going out, there were some things that I like either completely ignored or just totally dismissed, to the point of maybe even almost lying to get them to try to go away, because I was being attacked so heavily back then. And, you know, I wasn't willing or ready to confront like the realities of those things back then, you know? Oh, no, West Coast. Okay, gotcha. No, I've only lost my virginity one time. Yeah, no, I don't. So, is it not normal to have a scare? I thought of, I got freaked out about that kind of thing. The level of scare that I had was not normal. Let me make that clear. Like, when I say I had a mental breakdown, I was in this doctor's office, walked in, I was like uncontrollably sobbing. I was trauma dumping all over this stranger. Thankfully, there was no other fucking guests in the fucking office. It was my, like, the doctor I had had my whole childhood. I was like, man, I've tried so hard to block out that day, because what ended up happening was, like, I want to say a couple years later, like years down the line, that girl reached out to me on Facebook, and when I realized who she was, I was like, oh my god, I want to die. I want to die. Oh my god. Like, I couldn't, like, believe it. Like, I was mortified, and we talked about it, and she understood, and I explained the whole situation to her. And to me, like, that's what purity culture does. Like, because I being raised as a Mormon, I had, like, part of me losing my virginity was, like, the part of me leaving the church. You know, those stories are connected. And so, in the wake of me leaving and, like, being ostracized by members of the church and stuff, yeah, just, it fucked with me. It fucked with me, man. It fucked with me. Was from the deed in water with a little bacteria. Oh, yeah. See, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, it's stuff like that. And that's all it was. It wasn't an STI. But back then, I didn't even know STI was a phrase. I thought it was STDs, you know what I'm saying? So, and back then, that to me, a diagnosis like herpes was like the end of the fucking world. You know what I mean? Like, back then, my dad left when I was 10. I don't know where my mom currently stands, but I was raised in the church and born in the church of Mormonism. Well, my sister hates it when I call it Mormonism, but I call it Mormonism. But anyway, I think they're trying to rebrand themselves. And so it's one of the most embarrassing moments of my life, and that's why I reached out to an anonymous forum. And I was the 18-year-old dumbass that used a username that got traced back to me. So, you know, that's what it is. Like, and I just refuse to, like, let that narrative be something that's still out there as, like, something that's unchecked by me. It's not true. It's a complete falsehood. It was based on my own naivety, my own failing of understanding myself. And it's one of the many deeply, like, traumatic layers of the gang stalking I experienced. So, yeah. Right. No, Clever. And honestly, I need you to know that you sharing that with me right now makes me feel a lot better, because that story is really shitty to me. And it really, I read that comment and I was like, are you fucking serious? Because I once had a yeast infection and freaked out, thinking I had herpes. Okay. Oh. Yeah, because, I mean, they didn't give me any specific, like, diagnosis or anything. They just, like, gave me an antibiotic and, like, sent me on my way. Yeah, and, like, and that's the thing is, like, and this was back in, like, 2010, I want to say. 2010, 2011. Because I don't know how long it took me to do a follow-up. So, it was probably still in 2010. So, yeah, you know, it's just, but see, that's the way the internet can twist things, right? Like, that's the way that, like, the internet can, like, take something and run with it and think it's fact, and that, like, you know, and all of that, when it, just because I made a post describing these things and I was thinking it was this and I was scared. Yep, just UTI, exactly. Thank you. So Clever. I'm, like, actually about to cry. Thank you. I'm doing a really good job working out, guys. Whew, whew. No, but I need to remember to bring my headphones out next time. I'm going to do some laps before I end the live, but I'm honestly probably just going to stick with stretches because I don't want to overdo it. And I have been really not doing my, like, physical stuff, and my knee pain's been worse, and I've been struggling. more than I once was, and I'm not happy about it. No, Fiona, I'm not sure if he just came in. I was just talking about a past situation, and Clever was sharing a story, because when I was 18, I convinced myself I had developed an STI because I was uneducated and I was experiencing a lot of guilt around losing my virginity. So we were just talking about that whole scenario. It was never an STI. Oh, okay. No, you're fine. You're good. I was just, it was a whole thing. I just didn't want to go back into free explaining it. You're totally fine, Fiona. Ugh. I really gotta stretch my hips. Hang on, guys. This feels fantastic. Ugh. Every time I get in the pool, I'm like, God, I gotta do this more. And then I get in my head again, and I'm like, ugh, bitch. So, yeah. I have nothing to hide. Not anymore. I used to. I used to have things I wanted to hide and I was ashamed of, and no. It's common for women to have weird issues and freak out. It's very hard because a lot of parents don't share with their kids. And young uneducated people feel alone. God, that's so fucking relatable. I get in my head all the time. Yeah, I feel that, dude. I will say this, like, yeah, I have nothing to hide, but I have some people I fucking refuse to speak on. They don't get my energy anymore. So. Onwards and upwards, right, friends? And, yeah. I need to do a few different things. I need to check my email. I need to kind of, I had my first my phone interview with the dietitian that my insurance gave me, and she recommended the same, like, intuitive plan, that the other dietitian recommended me, but she's covered by my insurance, and I was shook. See, this is why you need to, like, try things and, like, reach out and, like, do additional research sometimes and not just, like, go off of what you know. That's how I had to be with my brother. He's toxic. I'm sorry to hear that. I hate it because I want to help educate my young people, friends of my kids. But it is a fine line between helping educate and being creepy. Yeah. That's true. That's very true. It'd be an interesting... Whew, yeah, that's how do you do that? I mean, I guess the best way would be to, like, be like, hey. Well, then how do you approach that parents? So you got me thinking here. Hey, Clever, can I make... Oh, hold on. Here we go. Clever, I think I accidentally deleted your message. Excuse me, I apologize. Can I make you a mod, Clever? And thank you. Yeah, this is like a... When it's not wet, it's more like a pinky mauve. But I was gonna ask you, Clever, if I can make you a mod, because have you been in my lives multiple times? And all you have to do is, like, hide and block and mute obvious, like, troll comments. Or people being creepy, because, like, I don't fucking like it when people make, like, certain types of advances. Oh, no, you're good. Just, yeah, it should just give you a feature to, like, click on it and all of that. There we go. There we go. All done. Now you have a wretch by your name. To troll thump for you. Alright, I think I'm gonna swim a few laps. I don't know how many I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna do a full 20 like normal, but I'm gonna swim a little bit. Fancy. I wish I had a pool. Yeah. I get that comment a lot because, yeah, I wish more people had pools. They are a fantastic thing to have. Especially, like, if you struggle with, like, joint pain, working out, you know, things like that. Or just, like, you know, your physicality in general. They're amazing. So, you're in Texas? Oh, yeah, then I bet you definitely wish you had a pool. So, I'm gonna swim for a little bit. Whee! Alright, let's go. Oh, okay, hold on. I'm not doing that on live. Hold on. These shorts, I guess they're looser than they used to be. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Yeah, no. We, okay, I can't wear these bottoms when I'm live. We're not about to have another wardrobe malfunction. I'll swim in here after the live's done. No, we're not doing that again. I had a situation with the top one time. Not one of these. These are pretty secure. But I felt that, I mean, hey, cool. It's nice that it's loose. But I hope you guys didn't see anything. I felt it start to pull and I was like, nope. We are not doing that today. So, I might end this live a little bit earlier than I thought because I do want to, not that kind of channel, not no more, not on this platform. But, I mean, that's cool. I remember these, like, used to be a lot more fitting on me. So, cool. Like, a lot more tight on me, I should say. So, nifty. I actually haven't worn this swimsuit in a while, either. I always have issues with swimsuits. LOL, that's why I only wear shorts and a crop top now. So, yeah, these are swim shorts. But I don't know if you can see, like, how baggy they are on me. That's a problem. We ain't about that life right now. I ain't trying to moon y'all on fucking YouTube. Thank you very much. Take your wins where you can, exactly. So. I really just want to go swim and shower. So, this will probably be a shorter live than normal. Like I said, it was super impromptu. So thank you for anybody who showed up here because there was like no warning or anything, and it's also a weird time of day. But when I first came out here, I got just a little bit of sun. I like to get some indirect sunlight because, you know, I'm trying to get wrinkles and shit. But all that swimming puts on a real show. But yeah. So anyway, I just thought I'd say hi. I'm so disappointed. I did not. See, this is why when I do impromptu lives, I need to put a little bit more planning than I normally do. Or than I did this time. Also, should I go live when I'm this sleep deprived? That's a question for another day. But I just wanted to share some of those things and say hi and thank y'all who've been supporting me. Some of you for just a couple days, some of you for the past few months, some of you for many years. And it means a lot to me. And God, I wish I was still boxing. So a monthly membership is $160 a month, and I just don't got that kind of money right now. So if I get to the point where I can afford something like that, I'm gonna do it. Like, I really am. For 100%. I love boxing. It's amazing. And it would be really, if I had to pay that, I would go multiple times a week and, like, get in the pool more just to be able to fucking, like, do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, oh, okay, okay. I don't know if you've seen the interview yet and stuff, Clever, but, I did, an interview on the We're All Insane podcast. Like, whenever we're done here, if you want to check that out. I also posted a vlog yesterday. I think you might have commented on the vlog, actually. I'm not sure. I don't remember. My memory is... Yeah, it is a lot. Yeah. And I don't know, but I mean, like, they have trainers, they have this, like, awesome bouncy floor. Like, that's one of the biggest reasons why I love that gym so much, is the floor is, like, has this, like, bouncy material, and when I'm on it, it doesn't hurt my knee as much. It doesn't hurt my joints, like, nearly as much as, like, walking around in the real world does. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, those floors are amazing. They're fucking incredible. Like, and, like, I even get foot pain and stuff. I don't get foot pain on those floors. Like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. And I wouldn't want to do a gym membership unless, like, I knew there was certain, like, accessibility things in place. Generally, like, I'd want a pool, but I have one, so I don't have to, I guess, worry about that now. But, and I also just, I don't know if I'd want to do a gym unless I had some kind of, like, trainer involved, and that is still in the same price range regardless, so. And even still, I don't know, it's just, like, I would be really nervous to do all that. I think for me, like, the biggest thing that I want to start doing is just, like, I want to just pull my head out of my ass and be like, I'm going to do, like, a 7-day, like, movement challenge. Like, that's kind of the next thing I want to do in terms of that style of content. I just need to, like, believe in myself and gear myself up to actually do it. Because when I set my mind to something and I'm going to follow through on it, and I'm just scared about, like, not following through and all of that. So we'll see. Because I need to focus on, you know, for me, I'm trying to view movement in quote unquote exercising in different terminology and different light, because I don't want to trigger myself. I don't want to, like, put these additional pressures on myself that end up making me, like, want to either, you know, binge or act out in some type of way, because I tend to do that, especially, like, if I'm struggling with self-defeating behaviors and stuff. And I feel like I have been struggling with that a little bit the past couple of weeks, and I just haven't really talked about that online a lot, because I don't want to, one, give anybody ammo for bullshit, and two, it's just, it's something I struggle with off and on a lot, and I don't want to sound like I'm just complaining all the time, you know, but it is something that I think a lot of people can relate to, like, just that, like, when you've been through stuff, like, it's easy and comfortable to stay in the struggle, and that's not where I want to stay or be. And even though, like, I consciously know that, my subconscious, it seems it's almost like trying to impede in those, like, self-defeating behaviors just to, like, you know, fuck my shit up, you know what I'm saying? It sucks to not follow through. The only worst thing is not starting. Oh, clever. Damn it. You're right. That's a clever thing to say. Fuck. Shit. Damn it. Now I gotta start. I'm only partially teasing. But damn it. No, you're right, though. Shit. But you know what? That's, like, part of what I'm doing today. I'm not officially, like, no, please don't apologize. I'm just realizing how right you are, and I'm mad about it. Because and you know what? That is why I'm in the pool today. Like, I'm not starting the challenge today, but this is not the second day in a row, but this is the second day in the past couple days that I've been doing this. I've been getting in the pool, just like being in the water. The first couple times I did it, I really just like watched TV and kind of floated around a little bit and lazed about. This time I'm at least stretching. And when I hang up this live, I'm gonna swim some laps. Like, I'm not bullshitting about that, but I haven't worn this swimsuit in a live before. Pretty positive. And if I have, it was either not these bottoms or I don't think I swam in them, because these were like literally about to fall off. Hey. That's understandable. I have a friend who wants to get a little more active, and we've been going on walks, and even walking is helping them feel so much better. Yeah. You don't have to take it to the extremes. Exactly. And I don't want to, because like, I have a knee injury. You know, if you've watched me for a while, well, actually, there's some people who may watch this, who haven't been watching me. I have a pretty irritating knee injury in this leg, and then I have a previously fractured metatarsal in this foot, and I think there's something else wrong with my legs, and I can't even remember. Bitch. Well, I will say, since I started being more physical, this foot started having a lot more foot pain, and that's been super annoying. Like, holy shit annoying. And I just haven't really been talking about it. Like, I maybe they're called like foot spurs or something. I've been like needing to like, I've been meaning to look into it and like try, because I've heard the term for what I'm experiencing. It's like a shooting pain up from like the middle of my foot through my leg. It hurts. No, I don't have a diving board, and I've never actually used one, and I probably never will. I almost drowned when I was 12 at girls' camp. These two girls were like wanting me to like confront my fear of putting my head underwater, so they were helping me do that little by little. And near the end, they dragged me down like I think it was 9 feet. Might have been 12. I'm just gonna say 9 feet underwater, and like I was younger, so I was like, this was like triple my height at that time. And they dragged me all the way down to the bottom, and when I squeezed my hands to go back up, I started inhaling water like while I was still at the bottom of the lake. And by the time I came up, I remember like my vision going blurry. Thankfully, I, didn't have anything severe happen, but fun fact, they never called an ambulance. And I've always, like, it took me many years to realize how, like, fucked up that was, because I never got checked out for it. Like, I was in the Mormon, who's a troll? No, I don't think they're a troll. No, I think they're just genuinely asking. Hang on. My Fitbit's being annoying. Don't worry about it. They're trying to, I see what you're saying, Clever, but no, I don't want to assume that. Oh. Man, I'm tired. Oh, God. So, no. She was talking about the girls in my story, Kato. You're good. Sorry for the confusion. No. I don't know. They could have, I think it was a genuine accident. I think they had good intentions, and they took it too far. Because, like, it started with them, like, just, like, putting my head under the surface of the water, then, like, going, like, a few inches, then, like, a foot. Like, it was just, like, and, like, I was gaining confidence as it was happening, but we were unsupervised. There was no adults around. They were just older girls. So you see what I'm saying? So I don't think it was intentional. But, yeah, no, I deadass, like, almost died. And, I remember, like, I came up and I just, like, basically, like, coughed up all this water. And I already had lung issues. I've had, asthma since a very young age. I had RSV at the age of like 2 years old. And so, you know, part of what led to my weight gain, besides my eating issues, was I did have asthma that was exacerbated by exercise. So, like, I hated PE. I hated, as a kid, like, I hated getting worked up because I would wheeze. I would, like, I, I kind of did grow out of my asthma ish. Like, I still have an inhaler, but my main issues with my lungs happen around like seasonal allergies. I get really severe seasonal allergies. I'm like severely sensitive to pollen. Fucking hate that shit. Pollen sucks ass. Anyway, but yeah. So, you know, in adulthood, I definitely, I mean, obviously with my weight, like I do struggle like with my breathing and stuff. Like I remember seeing a couple comments in the interview about how I was out of breath from just talking, when actually it was less that I was out of breath from talking, but I was so nervous and I would talk so fast that I was just kind of like, and plus I wasn't used to having that microphone so close to my mouth, so I'm gonna have to work on that. But yeah, I was super nervous during all of that. But yeah, I've always kind of had those issues, and I brought that up because after like the lake and stuff, like I struggle with like having a wet cough, and I've kind of had that my whole life. Um, I wonder if there's any correlation. I don't know. One would think. It must be nice to have a pool in your backyard. Yeah, it's so mysterious. The weather's so mysterious. You can't really have a pool unless it's a pool inside. Okay. Yeah, I live in Florida, so it's truly like, it really is a blessing that I have a pool in the home that I live in. It really is. And yeah, so anyway, I've been rambling for a little bit, and I do want to swim and shower. So I think I'm gonna go. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. Next time I do a live, I'll be more prepared, I promise. And hopefully more rested. Thank you, Clever. Yeah, it's been an interesting experience so far. We'll see what happens and if anything comes of it, but I really appreciate that. Thank you. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Later.